content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to modern audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to modern audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to some audiences.
Hey wrestling fans, welcome back to another edition of WPOV Global. This is the answer to the long question of what would happen if you were to take a jaded, egocentric old man and combine him with a womanizing booze hound, mix in 3 drops of Alanis Morissette's power, and put a whole lot of craziness in. You get us. I'm your host, the legend T. James Logan. Yeah, I'm old and egocentric, whatever. I don't care. And my co-host, if he can just scrape himself out of the barrel at this moment, the gentleman, and trust me, not all women say he's that, the gentleman, Elio Canal. Elio?
Yes, sir.
You booze hound. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am doing, a lot better than last week. I mean, me and you, we went into last week's show feeling like that somebody held us down and took our lunch money. You know what I mean? It was a rough week.
Oh man, that was terrible. Last week had me so beat down with that Triple Mania show.
Well, you know what? This week is like the exact opposite, because it's like, even though we probably even watched more wrestling this week, the G1's done. I feel lost. What are we supposed to do, man? We had such great wrestling, and now
I know. We have to wait. I think we have to wait 10 days before the next event.
Well, but unfortunately, the next event will not be anywhere as comprehensive. The Super J Cup is only like 3 nights. But wow, we went through 19 days of cards, man.
I know, wow. But there was a lot of great wrestling on there.
It was.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every day.
It was like
It was fun.
Fans who don't realize the scope of this, it was 19 cards. Each of those cards were probably about 4 hours long. 19 of them in the span of about 27 days.
Oh, jeez.
If we were running, we'd be skinny, but we're not, so we're both fat. So anyways, let's get into today's episode. All right, first of all, we like to throw out a poll for all you monkeys out there so you can vote on stuff and be a part of the show. This week, we asked the question, who is going to be AEW's first champion? Will it be Chris Jericho, or will it be Hangman Adam Page? Elio, read me those results. Oh, wait, before before you read it, what did you pick?
I'm going to go with Hangman Page.
Hangman Page? Okay. And why?
Just to be different, because everyone knows Chris Jericho. He's a big name, big star. Like, not that Page isn't, but Adam Page, it's like a different. It would be like a different look. It could be a fresh start. Jericho has already been a champion in other companies, so we already know him. Plus, we don't know, he has all his other ventures, like his band and such.
Okay. Now, you know what, folks? When I saw this, my first instinct, I wanted to pick Hangman Adam Page, because I thought, okay, AEW says they're going to do all new stuff. They're going to be the wrestling company. And I get that. So Adam Page, by all means, what a great wrestler, what a great representation. However, the monkey wrench here is they have national television coming up. They have to debut a show and hopefully draw on names. And I got to tell you, folks, as much as I like Adam Page, the average wrestling fan does not know who Adam Page is. However, everybody knows who Chris Jericho is. So even if Chris loses it in the first month, he is definitely going to draw a heck of a lot more viewers to that opening episode to see him. So I picked Chris Jericho just for the fact politically he is a much bigger attraction than Hangman Adam Page. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's a better wrestler. I don't think he's more deserved. I don't think any of that stuff. If anything, Adam Page,
Right.
I think, will probably end up being the second champion and probably not too far down the line. But I had to agree. I believe 70% of the people picked Chris Jericho. Nobody wrote us in for reasons, so screw you all. We have no idea what you mean, why you picked it. For all we know, you could have been drunk and threw it at flipped a coin or something.
You comment on you comment on polls about chair shots and intergender matches, yet you don't comment on polls about AEW's first champion.
Maybe people are just as sick as AEW that hasn't really happened yet as we are. There's always that too, I guess. So I'm not going to blame you fans for this
true.
one.
I mean, that's all you hear about lately is AEW this, AEW that. Even with a month left, 2 months left before they make their debut on TV.
Yeah. You know what? We're going to make a poll next week, folks. It's going to be nothing to do with AEW. I think we need a week or two off from talking about AEW till they actually do something. That sound fair? All right. Well,
that sounds fair.
Well, folks, we want to thank you all for contributing to this week's poll. We look forward to whatever next week. I have an idea about next week's poll. Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw it out right now.
Okay.
And it's kind of piggybacking off a poll we did just recently. This poll is, looking at ROH's new television format, is it going to make a big difference in viewership, or is it too little too late? You folks tell us. ROH's new TV format, is it gonna light fires, or is it just a little bit too late? A little too little too late. Ooh, that sounded sexy. Okay, anyways, let's go forward here. Believe it or not, I decided not to be so lazy and tried to gather some news for the week. Okay? So now, first bit of news, usually, I know I don't usually talk too much about AAA. Well, after Triple Mania, do you blame us? But anyways, AAA, as we know, is going to be doing a big show in Madison Square Garden coming up. And as of a couple weeks ago, the ticket sales were pretty sparse. And people were wondering if they were going to cancel. But the word out there is they are not canceling. Wow. They are going forward. And I had to say, okay, the only reason that I brought this piece up is because I wanted to read the names of the people who are slated to debut on this card, okay? Just because some of these names just made me laugh out loud, okay? Here we go. Aerostar, Averno, Blue Demon Jr., Daga, Dynastia, Drago, Phoenix, Golden Magic. Well, that's something. Oh, here we go. Hio del Tarantes, Hio del Vicanago, Conad.
Oh, no.
La Hydra, La Parquita. Does that mean this is a female version of La Parca? I gotta know. Marvilla, Lady Shanna, Mamba, Maximo, Mysticis Jr. Oh, I love this next one. Nino Hamburgosia. Okay. Pagano.
Wow.
Pentagon Jr. Piero. Oh, I love this one. Pimpinel Escalarto. I guess it's the Scarlet Pimpernel in Spanish.
He was on the Triple Mania card.
Puma King. Oh my God, Puma King. I'm sorry,
I know that.
Yeah, I'm sorry you know that too. Puma King, who has got to be one of the most ridiculous looking luchadors I've ever seen. Taya, which I guess means Taya Valkyrie. Tessa, which I'm taking to be Tessa Blanchard, and Volano 3. Get this, Volano 3 Jr.
Wow.
Not only is he one of the many Volanos, but he's the junior of one of them. Holy crud.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, some of those names are just too fun.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah?
Hold on. How come he's not El Hijo de Villano 3?
Dude, I just thought that in my head, too. And I didn't say it, but I was like, how come he is not a heel? Hey, come on. La Parcarita? La Parcarita? What the hell is that? All right. Now that we've had a lot of fun making fun of Triple H, let's go on with our other news. A big news for sticking in the world of Lucha Libre, mixing with MLW. MLW announces they are starting a working relationship with the Crash promotion in Mexico. Crash is a kind of up-and-coming... so we're going to see some whole flux of new luchadors probably in MLW itself. Speaking of
Wow, okay.
Speaking about MLW, when they return to Dallas on September 7th, they're going to do a special tribute to Gary Hart, the late Gary Hart, who was one of the most nefarious managers back in the day in World Class.
Gary Hart. He was manager of Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah. Bruiser Brody, the Spoiler. He created the One-Man Gang, the Great Kabuki, and the Dingo Warrior. I mean, this guy, Dingo Warrior. Sorry?
And TNT.
And
TNT.
Who is TNT?
Savio Vega.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you got me on that one.
Yeah.
Do you remember who the Dingo Warrior was?
The Ultimate Warrior.
Yes, he became the Ultimate Warrior. So yes, Gary Hart was very influential. One of the best guys you like to hate, and it's cool that they're giving him some recognition because over the years we've heard that he was very instrumental in a lot of stuff that happened in World Class, backstage, back with the storylines and stuff. So this is great. I think this is a really cool thing. And okay, I know I hate to say I hate to bring up AEW news, but I'm going to bring up some AEW news. Not A&W because that would be tasty, but AEW. On the last, they did an all-out episode online for YouTube, and they detailed in it how they're going to crown the first women's champion. And basically, they're going to feature a 21 women. 21 women will be competing for a shot at the championship. And I'm not sure exactly if they're going to go battle royal or go into some kind of tournament, but we do know they're going to whittle down 21 women, and we'll see who would be first AEW champion for women, anyways.
Oh, so okay. I was just gonna ask: is that a tournament or battle royal?
You know what? That's still to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
do you got any news to contribute today, Elio? You lazy bum.
Let's see, what do we have here? Sticking with AEW, they plan on running 4 pay-per-views in 2020. However, with another pay-per-view following the All Out, and on that I guess it's the same episode of Being the Elite. They announced the signing of Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy. I'm sure he's going to be. He's going to set AEW on fire.
Orange Cassidy.
Was he that stupendous high flyer? No.
Yeah. All he does is just. Yeah. All he does is just stand there with his hands in his pocket.
It's a funny character, but I'm not sure if it's. I'm not sure if that's made for actual television. You know what I mean? It seems like a small indie thing.
What's he gonna do?
I don't know. It'll be interesting. But obviously,
then apparently, go on.
Well, I was going to say, one thing we're going to have to look at, folks, is if AEW wants to do a weekly show, they're going to have to sign a hell of a lot more wrestlers than they have right now.
And in ROH, Marty Scurll's contract is up in November, and after which he will have a couple of options. Either AEW or WB is always looking to sign new talent. So he has a lot of options open after his contract is up.
Well, you don't think he's going to re-sign with ROH?
Hopefully he re-signs with ROH. I don't see him going to AEW and leaving the Villain Enterprises behind.
Well, I guess that remains to be seen. So, you got any news before we head off to the land of the rising sun?
That's all the news I have for this week.
All right. Well, folks, it is that time of our show where we go into one of our favorite parts, of course, is New Japan. We're going to look at, like I said, I'm actually a little sad, and maybe it's just shell shock, but the G1's over. We're going to go over days...
I know.
We're going to go over days 15, 16, 17, 18, and then tell you what happened on day 19th in the finals. Okay?
Yep.
All right. On day...
we forgot. I know I didn't bring it up in the news because we're going to bring it up in NJPW, what happened on day 19, which was yesterday.
Yes, we are going to talk about all that. I know what you're getting at. All right.
Yep.
So first of all, we'll start on day 15 on Block A. A very interesting match. Okay. Sonata defeating Lance Archer. Lance Archer still looking good, but Sonata I don't think really... I don't know. He seemed hot and cold during this tournament. This one shocked me a little. Bad Luck Fale defeats Tanahashi.
Bad Luck Fale was doing well, from what you told me about how he did it last year with him always like causing trouble and getting himself like disqualified and stuff. He did a lot more this year. Yes,
he did. Then we had Ospreay defeating Kenta, which was actually a really good match. Ibushi defeating Zack Sabre Jr. And the main event for that night was Okada defeating Evil. Now, I'm going to pick Okada defeating Evil because it was just a tremendously great battle. Okada tends to, a lot of his matches are just really good anyways. All right.
Okay.
Night 16, Yano defeats Tai Chi. Well, you would hope, right?
He better defeat Tai Chi.
Naito defeats Cobb. In another loss for John Moxley, Goto defeats Moxley. Jay White defeats Juice Robinson. And Shingo defeats Ishii, which I got to tell you, man, that was a crazy, hard-hitting battle. These two went toe-to-toe, beat the snot out of each other, just like all of usually Ishii's matches are. But put him in there with a guy like with Shingo, and man, whoo, what a great match. That's going to be my pick for Night 16. Night 17.
Okay.
Lance Archer defeats Evil, which is a surprise for me. Lance Archer, okay, this guy is like, what is he, 6'7", 6'8"? He does a moonsault
somewhere
in this
on
match.
there. Yep.
Yeah, he did a moonsault during this match on Evil. Fale defeats Sonata. That was a bit of an upset. I did not see that one coming. In an interesting battle, Zack Sabre Jr. defeating Kenta. And the story here was how years ago when Kenta was the king of Pro Wrestling Noah and Zack Sabre Jr. came in, Kenta sort of made Sabre his bitch a lot, just kind of slapped him around quite a bit. So Sabre said, he's at the top of his game and Kenta's just a worn out piece of garbage. And so they fought, and Sabre did get the win here in a pretty interesting match, I'm going to say. Ospreay defeats Tanahashi. And the main event, Ibushi defeating Okada, which was a very key match here. Because just the way the points had been going that night, if it goes into a tie, because Ibushi defeated Okada, Ibushi, who actually, because of this, he actually tied Okada in the points. But because he won the match here, he gets the win. So Ibushi makes it into the finals as of day 17.
We were saying that he was one of the guys that wasn't having the best tournament.
Yeah, he started off pretty weak and ended up coming on strong at the end. Okay, on 18 on block B, Jeff Cobb defeating Toru Yano in a really funny match. In the beginning part, there was even a part where the referee checked Yano's shorts and he had 6 rolls of tape hidden in his.
Oh, I saw that.
So it's such overkill. Now, this next match really surprised me. Tai Chi defeating Tomohiro Ishii.
How?
Well,
how does that work?
I don't know, but it just, for once, Tai Chi really fought and went toe-to-toe with Ishii. Not his usual cowardice crap and his stuff. I gotta say, we've been pretty rough on Tai Chi because, well, usually he's a pretty shitty wrestler, but this tournament, he's actually risen up a bit, and I gotta say, I'm a bit surprised, and I gotta say I enjoy him a little more. I have a little more respect. Not a lot, but a little bit more respect for Tai Chi. In an interesting match, Juice Robinson defeating the U.S. champion John Moxley. Now, you know what that
rematch from June the 5th.
Well, here's another thing. Because Juice defeated pinned Moxley, who is the U.S. champion, and so did Goto, both those guys get title shots now against Moxley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how that works, Same as Ibushi.
Wait, you said both of them get title shots?
Yep, because
both of them get them? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Goto defeated Moxley on day 16, and Juice gets him on day 18. When you defeat a champion during these tournaments, you get a title shot against them. So I would think Goto would get it first.
Right.
I'm sure if we look back, I can't remember now. I mean, we'll take a look at it in a sec, but let's just finish this off. Then Shingo Takagi defeating Hirooki Goto in a very hard-hitting battle. It always seems like Shingo, Goto, and Ishii have just crazy physical battles. And in a very, maybe not surprising for some, but Jay White defeating Tatsuya Naito. So that puts Jay White as the winner of Block B. Now, here's where we talked about this, folks. We talked about how Jay White had lost so many matches in the beginning, and then he promised to win the last 6 matches, and he kept true to his word. He actually made it into the finals, by hook or by crook, but he made it to the finals, and that gets us into day 19. Day 19.
So the one lesson I took away from this is when Jay White promises something, he always follows through.
Well, like by hook or by crook, Jado and his little kendo stick helped quite a bit in a lot of this, but but
That's true.
he did make himself a legitimate presence, we'll say, in this tournament. Okay, in the finals, Kota Ibushi defeats Jay White. Kota Ibushi will now go forward with a guaranteed title shot against whoever is the IWGP champion at Wrestle Kingdom. It's sort of like
Okay.
it's sort of like the briefcase thing. The only difference is he doesn't have a stupid briefcase to carry around, and he will have to actually defend that shot once or twice. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so that'll be something to see. But as it's set now, if we went in with all the same people going the way they are now, that means Kota Ibushi would be challenging Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, and that to me sounds like a wonderful match. I mean, they fought each other on day 17, but let's look like now at a no time limit. Let's let it all go match. I think we're going to see some great wrestling out of that.
Yeah,
Now,
it should be a good match.
Now, before we go and talk about a little about some of the people in the tournament itself, I'd like to talk about the other piece of news that happened on day 19. Okay?
Yes.
In a special match of Bullet Club versus Chaos, Kenta turned on his stablemates, helped the Bullet Club win, and has now become a member of the Bullet Club. This brought out Shibata. Shibata, who's been out for over 2 years now after that horrendous head injury, came out and attacked beat the crap out of Kenta.
Yeah. He took out both God, he took out Fale, and he beat the crap out of Kenta.
He looked good out there, didn't he?
And I gotta say, Kevin Kelly again. Kevin Kelly, he takes it so personally. He calls Gato a son of a bitch.
Yeah, and it took Gato and the kendo stick to take him down. But so that is sort of the other big news coming out of the tournament is Kenta joining the Bullet Club. And I think this is a good idea. I think it's a good fit for both. When you look at the current incarnation of the Bullet Club, which has got like the members of God, it has Bad Luck Fale, it has who else is in there? Owens is in there, and Jay White. I wonder what kind of tension that's going to put between Jay White and Kenta, because they're both the leadership type. That'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. And it seems to me that Kenta would get along better with the other members of the Bullet Club than Jay White, who's kind of a dick to everybody. So now I just want to quickly look at some of these people and how they we're just going to talk a tiny bit about all the other people in the tournament and how they looked going in and coming out. Okay.
Okay.
Yano. Yano we knew was going to be a trickster. We knew he was going to pull a lot of crap. But he also stepped up a few times and had some really key matches. So Yano,
he did do well. Like for all his tricks and pranks, he did do well.
Tai Chi. Here's a guy who surprised me because I expected the worst of the worst from Tai Chi. Yet he came out at the end of the tournament especially looking a little bit impressive. Looking like he isn't just the coward we've looked at him in. So he looks good coming out of the tournament. Naito. Naito kind of, he didn't seem to... he didn't do a lot that was great, but he also didn't do a lot that was bad. So he went in looking, we'll say he kind of went in and came out the same way. He's on the same level. He's still a top wrestler, but the tournament neither put him back or put him down, okay? Jeff Cobb, despite not having a lot of victories, looked very impressive to the crowds. I mean, his strength game was on point. He was a monster in there, and a lot of people looked good at that. So Cobb definitely came out looking better. Hiroyuki Goto, who a lot of people have been lately kind of dulling out a bit because he just seems to float around. The last half of this tournament, he looked really good. He changed up some of his tacks. He looked stronger than usual. He comes out of this tournament looking good. John Moxley, we didn't know what to expect from him going in. He looked really good coming out.
Yeah, he was killing it for a while there. Although he was at the very top.
Right on. Jay White. Well, Jay White always acts like the douchebag, but you know what? He looked pretty darn impressive taking the last 6 victories. Doesn't matter how he got them. He looked good. He came out looking stronger. Juice Robinson came in looking like okay. He came out looking strong. Shingo. Shingo, well, he didn't have, after such big hopes in the Japanese tournament, in the junior tournament, he probably looked a lot more impressive, and it seemed like a bit of a disappointment that he didn't do as well as we thought he could. But look at the matches he fought. He fought some great matches in there, and Shingo looks good coming out. And then Ishii looked incredible, as always. Went in looking strong, came in looking strong. And I hope other wrestling companies are taking note of this. I mean, we've just looked at the Block B. This is 10 wrestlers. All 10 of them came out of the tournament looking just as good or better than they did going in. That's pretty impressive. Block A, Lance Archer. Nobody expected Lance Archer to be the monster he was. He looked incredible in there. Sure, I think he finished like with the least points in the entire tournament of anyone, but he looked legitimately good. Evil looked very strong. Bad Luck Fale, we expected a lot of crap. I gotta say Fale kind of went in the same and came out the same. Okay? He was okay, middle of the road. Sonata.
Even though he did do some good matches.
Yes. Sonata. Now, here's where I think that he doesn't look as good coming out as he did going in. Sonata had some great matches, but it seemed like there wasn't that spark that you want from like a big time main event guy, you know? He seems like he's kind of falling into mid card in people's minds. Zack Sabre Jr. He had some of the most interesting matches just because his style lends to a whole different aspect to this tournament. So he looked good coming out. Kenta, the former Hideo Itami, we didn't know what to expect from this guy. And he actually looked pretty strong. Despite all his shenanigans and joining the Bullet Club, he actually had a pretty strong tournament and looked pretty good in there. For a while, he was undefeated. Ospreay looked amazing. I mean, Ospreay was everyone he fought. Every match that he was in was either the first or second best match of the entire night. He just knows how to work. He knows how to make people look good. Tanahashi came out a lot better, stronger than I thought he would. We expected him to go in all broken up and battered and stuff, but he put up some great matches and got some great victories. Kazuchika Okada, the heavyweight champion, he had a tremendous run in there. He looked really good too. He comes out looking strong. And the last person, of course, is Ibushi. Ibushi went in looking maybe not so strong. He had taken some bad head injuries. He had a few minor bumps in the road along the way, but he comes out, wins the tournament, looking good. So this is kind of amazing. You know, we look at this, and there is like, out of 20 wrestlers entered into this tournament, I would say that at least 19 of them came out looking stronger than they did going in. And that is pretty cool.
This was a fun tournament.
It really was. This is my fourth, and I'm going to say it was right up there with one of my favorites. The quality of matches, it didn't seem like it was so long as it was, you know? And that's the thing about Japanese, you know, watching New Japan. The matches go quite a while, but it sure doesn't feel like it. It sure doesn't feel like it. So I guess our next thing we have to look forward to is it the Super J or the Super Junior?
It's the Super J Cup.
That's the one being held in the States, right? Yeah. That'll be a 3-night tournament hosted by what is his name? It's escaping me. Jushin Thunder Liger. Wow, can't believe I almost forgot his name. He has a lot to do with promoting that, and I believe 2 of the nights are in the States. I don't know if all 3 nights are, but 2 of them for sure. Are in the States.
Actually, the 22nd is in Washington, and then that's the first round, and the second round is they're all in the States.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So, folks,
in Washington and California.
Wow. So, folks, you know what? We just came through a large amount of wrestling, but you know what? It was worth it. And Elio, thank you, my friend. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Man, we had a good time.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun.
And I can hardly wait till we have next year's tournament and be talking about what's going on.
I know, right?
All right. Well, folks, you know, we're going to take a quick break here. Grab yourselves a beverage. Well, if you're Elio, please don't grab another beverage. I don't need you dying of alcohol poisoning during this. And don't grab another girl, okay? Elio, just go stand in the corner for a few minutes and just think about where your life went wrong, okay? Folks, I'm going to grab a drink. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to think where my life went wrong and all the horrible choices that led me here. Anyways, we'll see you folks. We'll be back in a little bit.
Hello, this is Miguel Cole from the Wrestling POV podcast. Wrestling POV and Wrestling POV Global is affiliated with the Collar and Elbow brand. Go to collarandelbowbrand.com and save yourself 10% by using promo code WPOV. Collar and Elbow has t-shirts, hoodies, sunglasses, and more. And the best part, you're helping out your local indie wrestlers, and you're helping out the best wrestling podcast of all, Wrestling POV and Wrestling POV Global. You don't want to miss out, so save yourself 10% by using promo code WPOV. Oh my goodness!
What's up? This is Jeff Cobb. You're listening to WPOV Global.
We're back. I hope you guys didn't go anywhere. Elio, are you ready to look at our regular wrestling for the week?
I am ready. Yes, indeed.
All right, well, folks, it's time now to jump over to England. We're going to look at WWE NXT UK. And, folks, I got to tell you, there's some stuff that happened on this week's episode that I'm going to say I'm genuinely shocked. But, Elio, you talk about it, and I'll bitch about it.
Okay, so NXT UK this week, we're back in Plymouth, England, and we start with the In Memory of Harley race, and then our opening match had Noam Dar defeating Ashton Smith with the Nova Rolla.
Now,
and then announcing that he will be at TakeOver Cardiff.
Now, what did you think of this match? What do you think of this Ashton Smith guy?
This match was just okay for me. I'm still not a fan of Noam Dar.
I was a bigger fan of Noam Dar before, but I'm not sure if he's doing much for me right now.
I was a fan of him when he was on Raw and 205 Live. Now, not so much.
And
Ashton Smith is just okay.
He's okay, but I think it was a bad choice putting him in there with Dar because he made Dar seem really small. Dar looked incredibly short and small compared to this guy, and I'm pretty sure Ashton Smith really isn't that big. So it just kind of shows you how small Dar is. Okay, match. Like I said, I dug Noam a lot more before. Not really warming up to him within UK.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then we have Tyler Bates with comments about Walter, saying won't let Walter disrespect the title, and he's going to become the first two-time UK champion. Grizzled young veteran come out for promo. Our second match, we have Ginny and Jazzy Gabbard defeating Piper Niven and Talia Brookside after Rhea Ripley comes out to cause a distraction, and Piper Niven exited the ring and went after Rhea Ripley, leaving Talia Brookside in the ring to take the loss for the team.
All right, let's look at the most important things in this match, okay? Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley.
She looked beautiful. There's a few things that bothered me in this match. You know that? First of all, Jenny and Jazzy. They should call themselves Jizzy. Anyways, that'd be a good tag team, eh? Jizzy. They're how do I put this really delicately? They're a shitty team. Okay, Ginny is terrible, and Jazzy looks like she's holding herself back so much.
I'm not impressed with Jazzy Gabbard.
Yeah, I've seen her before in other promotions, and I don't know why she's like wrestling at 60% of what she can do, and I'm not appreciating it. I'm not enjoying it. And Ginny, who's got minus 10 whenever she's in there, makes it even shittier. So the group of Jizzy, not liking them. I liked Zaya Brookside. She looked really good this week.
Yep.
Piper Niven just sort of looked like kind of an asshole, though. I mean, as her partner gets nailed, she just runs out and starts fighting and leaves her partner behind and fights Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, what are you doing? You just leave your partner hanging there, and she was even looking to the corner for the tag, and no one was there.
Yeah, I mean, I know people who most of the people in the show won't understand this reference, but if you ever watch Stampede Wrestling, that was some Bruce Hart tag teaming bullshit, okay? That guy would do shit like that all the time. You just never wanted to be Bruce Hart's tag team partner because he would just leave you in a bind. And that's what she did. She just walked. The best part is Zaya gets hucked over the ring. She's laying there. She walks over her and goes after Rhea Ripley and leaves her to get her shit kicking. It was wow.
It was terrible. What's going
on? Piper.
I know.
You're almost going to make the book with those kind of things. Come on. Anyhow, unfortunately the team of Jizzy wins, so yay.
And then we have two matches set up for next week. We have Cassius Ohno versus Ilya Dragunov and Flash Morgan Webster versus Mark Coffey.
Now, I just want to go back. Hold on. I just want to go back for 1 sec, okay?
Yes.
And I want to tell you some things that really annoy me when I see wrestling things, okay?
Okay.
When we had the grizzled young veterans are in the ring, right? Wolfgang and Mark Coffey come out, and they start saying blah, blah, blah. And for a second, I get a little peaked because here we got two heel teams, right? Which seeing heel teams fight each other sometimes is fun, right?
Right.
But then you got tiny little Madrews and tiny little Mod Father come out. Yeah, they come out and say that they want to get in on this. And, Mark Coffey makes a good point is... I think it was Zach made a good point of, well, you guys haven't even won any matches. At least Wolfgang and Coffey have won some matches, right?
That's a good point. We finally agree on something.
Yeah, and then I hate this kind of crap where all of a sudden Mark Coffey decides, yeah, Zach Gibson's right. And all of a sudden they're buddies yelling at the other guys. And I'm like,
I know.
That's just ridiculous. That stuff doesn't happen in the real world.
That bothered me. That's what I was saying just now when they were like, finally we agree on something. That was just weird. That was so weird. Yeah, that's why I just said Grizzled Young Veterans come out and cut a promo because all that crap went down. I tell you, Zach Gibson, I'm not a fan of Zach Gibson.
No, either am I.
All right, in the main event, it was... Sorry, go on.
No, go on. Just say it.
Oh, in the main event, we had Dave Mastiff versus Joe Coffey and ended in a double countout. And I have written down here, train wreck of a match to end in a double countout. That's all I got to say about that one.
Are you serious? Wow. I totally disagree with you because, do you know what, dude? I do not like Joe Coffey. I do not like Dave Mastiff. Yeah. And I thought they gave the most exciting, coolest match I have seen in a long time on a main event on UK. That was some good shit, man. Mastiff, just elbowing Coffey in the head till he splits the side of his ear open and still going at it. I thought this looked like two dudes who really hated each other and they were showing it. And now I don't like these two guys, but this match was good. I thought it was solid. And I thought, this is going to shock you, Elio, but I'm giving this episode a B+ on that match alone.
Oh, okay.
Now, you can disagree with me, and I'm cool with that. If you think it was just a horrible train wreck, by all means, talk about it. Tell me why.
I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of this match. Maybe I just don't like the two guys in there. But
I get that. I mean, they're both pretty weak. But I just thought they put in a really good performance. I was very surprised, and I'm not going to be in my mind. Of the three shows we watched this week, I actually thought UK was the top of the other two this week. I found it a little more exciting, and a lot of it had to do with that main event.
Okay,
but hey,
so for me, I'm gonna go with a B on this one.
Okay, and I give it a B+.
Piper, I don't know.
Yeah, that Piper stuff, and like I said, I didn't like Gibson and Coffey. They're all of a sudden buddies for 2 secs. Was just weird.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to MLW.
Okay. All right.
This week's MLW. Well, here's that whole thing where some of these matches we've seen and talked about before.
Yeah, this is what confuses me about MLW. It's made up of matches that are already taking place like a month earlier.
Yeah, and it's not like that's one thing that's but you know what? We give ROH crap because they give us matches from before their new format. They give you matches from one single night taped for TV. These guys give us matches from all over the place. I don't know. Yeah, it's confusing, but I guess it's just confusing when we double report them, right? And we have no choice sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, okay, in the opening match, Bestia 666 defeats Ray Horace. I'm still not all that sold on Bestia 666. He doesn't seem very terrifying to me.
I'm not scared.
This terror. Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's that big enough to be a terror of Tijuana or whatever the hell they were calling him. Ray Horace, he's kind of growing on me a little. I'm starting to enjoy him a little bit more. He's starting to get a little bit more in each time. The match was okay. It was okay. There wasn't anything great about it. They did some more of that crap with Conan coming out, and he was going to give her her phone back. And the funniest part, though, and I thought this was kind of funny, was he talked about how she brought in Savia Vega for one night, and that she had signed a special contract that Savio hadn't seen that gave an extra payment, which was obviously meant that she was embezzling money over to herself. and Savio came up and ripped up the contract, so, indicating that he doesn't owe her anything. So that was kind of funny. That was kind of funny. They talked a bit about the War Chamber stuff, blah 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 blah. They talked to Ross Von Erich and Tom Lawler, and they asked about Ross, and Ross was saying, he's got vision problems and he's in Hawaii getting looked at. Then our old buddy Mance comes in, and he gets asked by. I love how sometimes the announcers ask the most inane questions in the world. Casey, dumb as a stick, whatever her last name is, comes out and says, Mance, you've had all these problems with her. Is it over now? Okay. No, idiot. Why would it be over? But Mance answering her stupidity, brings out a blackboard and makes her draws a bunch of trees on it. And then he pulls out a chainsaw, which was really bizarre and very small. Did you notice it was a pretty small chainsaw?
Yeah.
And then he says it ain't done. He's coming for Selena's people. So, and do you remember what this all went back to? What started all these problems between Mance and Selena? Do you remember? It's super horrible.
Was it with the whole Sami Callihan?
No, it's when he spilled beer on her by accident. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that's really what started this shit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow.
This whole horrible thing started because he spilled a bit of light beer on her.
That's right. I remember that.
Okay.
Where Laparco attacked him or whatever, and they were fighting backstage or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then your favorite team ever, the Contra unit.
I'm sure you're mistaken.
This time, the incarnation of Simon Gotch and Joseph Samuel come out. And they attack the little nobodies of Jay Sky, who had Sky written on his ass, and Ariel, way too small to get on any ride at any attraction Dominguez. I think he's like 5'2" or something like that. He's tiny.
Did you get the name of the new guy in the Contra?
I think I did. I have it written down here somewhere. Maybe I didn't write it down. I just know that. I do. It's hard to say. Akiro Kwan.
Okay, yeah.
I have no idea who he is, or if he's another wrestler from somewhere else. Maybe if you fans know, please write in and tell us. Another Contra thing, which is, Contra unit is just ridiculous. Like, at least on MLW, all they do is they come in and just mug people, and then pull out a spike and like attack people. And you got to think, like, if you're the person paying to see a wrestling match, and that's what you're getting, isn't that kind of disappointing?
I'm slowly bringing you back to the light side. You were pulled into the dark side to becoming a fan of Contra.
I was starting to appreciate them, but now I'm getting kind of sick of their shtick.
Yeah, so you're coming back to the light side.
I am. I've hung out with the Dark Lords of Sith, and maybe, just maybe, maybe I'll be a Jedi again. I don't know. It's hard. Obi-Wan's an ass, and I hate that little Yoda thing. But anyways, Contra, man, they got to have matches. Like, these aren't matches. They're like interfering schmoz stuff. I'm not enjoying it.
Yep.
Not enjoying it. It was cool at the beginning. Now too much crap, It's like, you eat a chocolate bar. A chocolate bar tastes good. You eat 300 of them one sitting, you're going to fucking hate chocolate bars, I'll tell you that. All right, main event time. Savio Vega losing to Alexander Hammerstone. It was for the MLW National Openweight Championship. I always forget how big Savio is. He's a pretty big boy, This match was a little bit better than I thought it was going to be honest. Savio is actually, I expected a lot less from him, and he actually delivered a little bit more than I thought. In the end, Hammerstone takes the victory, and then we end it with such mature things of Brian Pillman stealing his jacket. Wow.
Speaking up, did you see that little vignette with the Dynasty?
Didn't you understand the reason I didn't talk about that or HT? Is because they're stupid. But yes, there was a stupid little vignette in the middle.
No, because
MJF had given them.
I just have to say, did Richard Holiday raid Mark Henry's wardrobe? We saw the pink salmon blazer.
Oh yes. Well, folks, what we're talking about is there's a vignette in there. It's like another lifestyles of the whatever they're called.
The rich and dynastic one. It's so
Rich
terrible.
Dynastic. And
It's so
MJF gives
terrible.
them gives them Rolexes or something like that, and Hammerstone just about cries, and it's ridiculous. And then, just to make it even stupider, we cut to an always brilliant H2 thing where they have a bunch of cats rolling around and Teddy Hart yabbering about some nonsense. Wow. At least we didn't have to put up with, I don't know. And yes, and there was another tape sent in by Contra where Samuel was talking about the new guy, Akira Kwan, and how he was this deadly assassin. And, I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna give this a C just for the Contra stuff. I'm
gonna give it a C-. I just, there's been so many good things about it that it just kind of deflated me this week. The wrestling was, I don't know. I mean, the wrestling wasn't really that good. I mean, we got to see a luchador match, which was just your usual flippy round crap. We got to see a Contra mugging, and we got to see Savio Vega, who's got to be, 60, get beat up by some young steroid punk. So, yeah, this week's episode did not do much for me. I'm giving it a C-.
Okay.
All right. Let's head over to the land of ROH, Ring of Honor. Tell us what's going on, bro.
And of ROH. Okay, so this week is our second week with a new format. And we look at a clip. The first clip is from the Best in the World event show where Flip Gordon joined Villain Enterprises. And then we see... And then we see from Manhattan Mayhem, Jonathan Gresham versus Dragon Lee.
I like Dragon Lee. Mm-hmm. He must like getting in there with Gresham because it's probably nice for him to once be the bigger guy in a match. Dragon
and
Lee.
Then Dragon Lee afterwards said there's more surprises coming soon, and Jonathan Gresham had comments himself saying he blames Jay Lethal for everything that's going wrong for him, saying because he's been doing everything Jay Lethal's way, so he blames Lethal, I guess, for all that.
I get that. I mean, the other day I had a really bad sleep. I woke up, the first thing I was like, "Damn you, Jay Lethal."
He says Lethal knows what the life of a champion is like. He wants that life as well.
Well, maybe you should grow 5 inches taller, buddy. Anyways.
And then we have 2 matches set for next week. We have TJ's favorite team, the Shinobi Shit Squad, going up against Villain Enterprises.
The Shinobi Shit Squad? Somebody squash these bugs.
Maybe they should go in the book soon.
They're not even worthy of the book. They're even worse than the...
Also, next week we have Kelly Klein versus Carissa Rivera.
This will be interesting. I kind of dug Carissa last week, so...
Yeah.
Kelly Klein, she's always solid. This should be a good match.
Yeah, and we see highlight video package on Rhett Titus.
Yeah, boy, talk about a waste of time. Go on.
And this is the one match we had. First, we had Soldiers of Savagery defeating Jobber 1 and Jobber 2.
Which is funny because the Soldiers of Savagery are pretty much jobbers themselves, but okay.
Yeah, so that's about it. We from Mass Hysteria, we see the Bouncers versus the Briscoes. And then we see clips from Lifeblood versus Villain Enterprise Philadelphia Street Fight. And we get to that match itself again in the main event for this week's ROH.
Well, there was a lot of good wrestling in this. What are you thinking? Are you feeling that this format's good? Do you like this, or do you wish it was the old way? What are you seeing? Because we said the old way was a bit of a struggle.
The old way was a bit of a struggle. You know what? I'm kind of it's only the second week, so I think I say I give it a couple of more weeks, because I kind of because at least they plugged storylines and future shows that are gonna happen, like they did with Summer Supercard.
Okay. Well, you know what then? You're right. You know what, folks? We talked earlier in the thing, and we said that we were going to do a poll, and that the poll was going to be about ROH. I'm actually rescinding that. We're not going to do that poll. We're going to wait. We're going to give it 4 weeks to see how this format looks before we decide anything. So I'm going to have to come up with a new poll, okay? And this is the poll that I have for this week, all right?
Oh, okay.
Did Piper Niven look like a complete asshole leaving her partner to get beat up?
Yes.
Or Was she trying to help her team by keeping Rhea Ripley out of the way?
No.
That seems like a fair question to me. I'm curious.
No, I'm picking option A.
You don't tell the folks. Let them vote. That's the honest to God poll I'm going to pick up.
Oh,
Did
okay.
Piper Niven look like an asshole for leaving her partner behind like that, or did she look valiant trying to fight off Rhea Ripley to protect her team? You folks tell me, okay?
All
right. This week's show, what would you give it, buddy?
So we're gonna go with the B because there was a lot of solid wrestling on there, aside from the Soldier of Savagery crap. But Carissa Rivera, I'm liking her. Like I said, like last week was the first time I had seen her, and I could already tell that there's something there. So
okay,
I want to see more from her. Yeah.
I'm going to give it a B minus. I thought there was some really good stuff on the show.
Okay.
I also thought there was a bit of weak stuff on the show. So I'm going to give it a B minus. All right, so calculate it up. How are we doing this week? Who is this week's winner?
Okay, so for NXT UK, you gave it a B plus. Is that right?
Yeah.
You said B. Okay, I said a B for MLW. I gave it a C, and
I gave it what, a C minus?
ROH, I gave it a. So NXT UK looks like it's
Gets the
a
2
winner
points
this week. Yeah, 2 points
and
for
who was in second
NXT
place?
UK.
Well, does it?
And then second
That
place.
puts ROH.
ROH is second place.
Wow, and you know what? This is the first week MLW did not get any points.
Yeah,
so that's got to make you wonder. So Elio, that makes me wonder.
Yes, sir.
Does that mean is MLW slipping a little, or is NXT and ROH upping the game? Guess we're gonna have to find out how that goes.
This is maybe.
All right, well, folks, you know what?
Maybe the new format for ROH is working.
Okay. Well, folks, you know what? Those are our look at our weekly shows. Now becomes our semi-weekly perusal into something we call the Book of Shame. Now, this week, the Book of Shame has something we've decided, you know what? I joke about this, but I'm going to make it official, okay? There are going to be people that we are going to enter into this book that we know in our hearts will never leave this book, okay?
Uh-oh.
We've already had people come and go. We've had people enter and be in for 2 weeks and get out. But we're going to put a special chapter in our book. And this chapter is called the Chapter of Perpetual Losers. Okay? Now, these are the skid marks of our underwear who will never make it anywhere. Who are just about as cool.
Bad image.
Bad image.
What are you doing? Bad image.
Well, I think skid mark really applies when our first 2 entries are Tommy Dreamer and Sami Callihan.
Okay, and I am entering them right now.
They are in our chapter of Perpetual Losers.
Tommy Dreamer and Sami Callihan times, I don't know how many, times 6.
Times 6. You know what? If we did tracking, I'm probably sure Tommy Dreamer could have been times something just for breathing. But anyways, now you asked me, I told you beforehand I was going to put these people in, and you asked me if OVE went in.
Yeah.
And the thing is with OVE are like, okay, remember when you went to school and there was the one total skid mark loser of the whole place? He was a so-called tough guy. He thought he was the best, but he was a piece of crap, right?
Yep.
Then he had a bunch of kids who'd hang out with him, his little gang, right? But the gang, without him, they were absolutely nothing. They were just just pathetic losers. That's why OVE doesn't make it in. OVE just without Callahan, they're nothing. They're at best guys selling tickets. So I'm not even going to give them the dignity of making it into the chapter of Perpetual Losers. They're just too pathetic.
Okay.
They are the skid mark that's on top of the original skid mark that's in some white panties found laying around in a locker room somewhere.
Yeah. All right.
I want you to imagine that late at night.
Oh, my eyes.
All right. Let's take a look at the book and see who's in there. See if anyone makes it out.
All right. So aside from the new entries into the Perpetual Chapter of Losers, we have. Let's see what we have here. We have first entry is Ace Austin.
Ace Austin. Oh my goodness. I took a peek over on Impact, and The storyline
Oh, no.
right now is he's trying to do magic tricks to win Eddie Edwards' wife.
No,
Wow.
no, what? Come on.
Wow. You're even bigger loser than we thought you were, buddy. You know, yeah, you belong in the book still.
All right, next we have Dave Mastiff.
Boy, you know what? You don't have to agree with me on this one, but
Okay.
Dave Mastiff earned some props for me this week with his match. And I want to say, if it's okay with you, I want to pull him out of the book this week. He can go back in there eventually, but
Okay, so
his match this week.
I'm gonna go back and watch. I'm gonna go back and watch it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. Okay. For this weekend, we'll move him. We'll take him out of the book for the week. All right.
We'll reprieve him for the week. Okay.
Our next one is Facade.
Facade. I doubt if we're ever going to see Facade again. I'm really torn on this one because he was so pathetically goofy that he deserves to be in this book. But dude, we have never seen Facade since like the first day we saw him was the last day we saw him.
No, I can remember when that was.
Yeah, it's been so long. I'm going to say we give him one more week, and if we don't see Facade anywhere to make us cringe, I think we should just like, we're not going to take him out of the book. We're just going to put like liquid paper over his name as if he didn't exist.
All right. Okay, then we have that TJ's favorite word that starts with F.
Always in. Always in. I will punch a nun in the face and kick her right in the vagina if she said that word to me.
Oh! Damn. Violent much?
Well, hey, come on. There's certain words that trigger me, man. I think that's pretty obvious.
And next we have Jimmy Havoc.
Ugh, Jimmy Havoc. He's just gross. I'm keeping him in there because he represents a culture of wrestling that's disgusting. He's in there.
Next we have Kenny King.
Kenny King. Oh my goodness. He is like, if you could put Kenny King into like a grinder and put him into pieces, you could probably sell him as sleeping pills because I'm pretty sure any part of him touches you, bores you to death just as much as his wrestling does. He deserves to be in the book.
Oh, that's why I fell asleep earlier before we went on the air. I must have been watching a Kenny King match. Oh, okay. That explains it.
I'm surprised you call them matches. They're not even that good worth to call matches. But anyways, go on.
Cotto Brazil.
Oh, Cotto Brazil. You know what? I'm going to let Cotto Brazil out this week because I was mad, okay? I was mad that they tried to switch him out as being Rich Swann almost without us noticing.
Yeah, you were a very angry young man.
Well, I was because it seems like, it almost seems slightly racist in this day and age that you can just
It kinda does,
interchange people because they look the same.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Don't insult my intelligence. Don't insult my intelligence.
Yeah.
If anything, when I think back more of it, I should be more mad at MLW for pulling that crap than actually, Cotto Brazil for doing it. I mean, he's only the employee, so. Let's pull Cotto out.
We've never put an entire company in the book.
Yeah, and I'm not going to yet. Not quite yet.
Madman Fulton.
No, he's just sad little man. Well, he's big, sad giant man, but geez, hanging out with OVE, it's like, you know what? If you swim in the sewer, turds are going to fall on you. Just the way it happens. That's what you get, Fulton. You hang out with turds, you get smeared.
TJ's favorite commentator, Nigel McGuinness.
Ooh, Nigel McGuinness. He is 2 comments away from entering the chapter of Perpetual Losers.
Oh.
So yeah, he's definitely in the book.
And we have Casey Lennox.
Casey Lennox. Man. You ever wonder what it'd be like to watch a television show and you think, oh, this is just not right. What can I do to make it more exciting? So you take a brick and you hit yourself 3 or 4 times in the head. And then as you're sitting there loopy and wondering what's going on, you probably have the same thought process and cognition as Casey does.
Oh my gosh, she's terrible. Then we have the Chris brothers. We have the Chris brothers.
Who?
The Chris brothers.
Exactly. The Chris brothers. Who are they? They're just 2 losers that glob off of Sami Callihan.
You know what?
You're globbing off turds?
You know what? Before Impact, I had never even heard of the Chris brothers at all.
Yeah, me neither. And I kind of wish I hadn't. I totally wish I had. No kind of.
And the last entry is The Hunt.
The Hunt, they're still cartoon losers. Yeah, they stay in. They're ridiculous.
And that's our final entry for this week's
So we have no new additions, but we have a new chapter we've added to the book with two
Yep.
stellar starts in it. And we've let
Yep.
two people out this week. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Kodo Brazil and who do we say? Who's the other guy we let out?
Kodo Brazil and Dave Mastiff. Not many people make it out of Canadian prison.
No, not too many people have. A few have. Let's be honest. We're not like the Bounties. We don't always get them in.
That's true. We'll leave that to Shaku Show.
But let it be known that the spirit of Alanis, the tenderness and the compassion that Alanis has shown us some mercy this week. However, there is not even the infinite love of Alanis could not even allow me to let Sammy Callahan or Tommy Dreamer ever out of the book. Ever. Anyhow, folks, another fun time. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me and Elio this week. Elio,
Yes, sir.
I'm so glad you stayed sober. Wait, you are sober right now, right?
I am sober, yes.
It sounded like you put down your drink to answer that. Okay. Now, folks, we want to say a special hello to all our fans out there. It's great to hear that the fans all across North America and Europe, fans in Asia, even far down south is Australia. We just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to write in anytime. And Elio, tell the people if they want to get hold of us. If they want to say, you know what, Legend, you're a total asshole, and Elio, here's 12 steps that'll help you get a better life. Where can they write and tell us these things?
You can reach us at Wrestling POV Podcast on Facebook, on Instagram at Wrestling POV1, and on Twitter at Wrestling POV.
And you know what, folks? We also have a sister show. And just in case you've heard our show and you haven't heard their show, every Saturday is Wrestling POV.
Mm-hmm.
And Wrestling POV, we have some, it's a foursome over there. It took 4 of them to be as cool as us. That's a true. They got Tony Diaz, probably the oldest man on broadcast radio. They have Mimi, probably, I'm not even going to say anything about Mimi. But you know what? We have Rick Serrano III, who even has a Turd Award named after him. Which you'll have to follow the show to get what that's about. And you are not going to believe it, but a sock puppet of evil. They have Miguel Cole, who is one evil little puppet. I have not. Ever since he ran away, life has been so nice, and now he's back. It's just like, really? Oh well. At least I don't have to. If he shows up at the softball game this year, you know, when Wrestling POV Global and Wrestling POV take on the other teams in the softball thing, I think I might accidentally let my bat go and let hit poor old Miguel in the head. But anyhow, where can people find our show and WPOV Wrestling?
You can find WPOV and WPOV Global on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and YouTube.
YouTube? Oh, that must be some sexy pics of us, huh? Are we in bikinis? Anyways, folks, we've had another fun time with you. Man, I am so sad that the G1 is done. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun.
So
tune in.
This is like the end of a movie. As soon as a movie I really like ends, I feel so sad. Now I feel so sad that G1 is over.
Yeah, it's more like when Elio gets to the bottom of his 40-ounce bottle of tequila. The tear that rolls down his face.
I just have to restock.
Until he remembers he has 10 more bottles in his room, then the tears go away. Folks, what I'm trying to say is we love you guys. Tune in next week where hopefully Elio has made it at least to the 3rd step of the 12-step program. And hopefully nobody's firebombed my house or set my cat on fire, which would be nice. It would be nice to have a week like without that. You wrestling fans are nice, but you can be assholes to me. Anyhow, you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you next week. Elio, say goodbye to the nice people.
All right, we will talk to you fans next week.